Welcome to the second part of this most amazing chess moves of all time. And now we're going to take one of my own games, and this is where I could have been on the receiving end of an amazing move. Now, this game was played in 2008. I had the white pieces here. It was played in Norway, and my opponent was the very famous player Sveshnikov, the original Sveshnikov, the guy who came up with the Sveshnikov Sicilian, and this guy is pretty legendary. And it was played in a match where I was representing England, and we're playing against Sveshnikov, their team, and I managed to win the game in this position here with the white pieces. Now, this is clearly a very dangerous position, and I'll just show you what happened in the game first, and then, same as before, I want you, the viewer, to try to find the best idea for black in this position. But first of all, the game continued. It's a very double-edged position. Both kings are being stabbed at, and they're both being attacked with vicious anger here. And the game continued. Knight takes f2, and now my opponent resigned very quickly after h5. His king here is clearly in more danger than mine. Rook takes d1, rook takes d1, knight takes d1, and now the simple way to win, bishop to g7. And I'm going queen h6 and queen h8 checkmate next move, and there's nothing black can do in this position. Game over. So my opponent resigned here after king g8, queen h6. He can't stop checkmate. He's run out of checks. But the question is, in this position, it's a hard puzzle, this one. I'm going to give you, tell you that now. It's not as easy as the last one, and I'm throwing you in at the deep end, so don't worry if you can't get this. But the question is, what should black play? And this is really more at international master level and above, I'd say. But have a go. It's black to play, and black has an amazing sequence, an amazing idea that he can use to turn the tables. Had my opponent played this, I would have lost the game. So in a minute, I will ask you to pause the DVD, and then I'll give you the solution. Give you a couple of clues in this position. You have to play quickly and violently with black, because white's plan is simply bishop g7 and queen h6, or h5 and taking on g6 with mate to follow. So you can't mess about. Every tempo is critical, and you have to gain tempo, and you have to attack the white king. Right, so if you can pause the DVD now, we will come back to solution in a minute. So, how did you get on there? Well, there's only one really good sequence of events here, and that is to go b3 first to threaten checkmate on a2. Now, white needs to try to keep the lines closed on the queen side, so a3. And now, an unbelievable move, and a stroke of genius, and I think this is, okay, one of the most brilliant moves of all time, even though it wasn't played. This again shows how chess can be artistic, how it can be beautiful, how it can really, for a human being, affect us in a really passionate way. And the winning move here is the unbelievable knight to e1. The only way not to lose the game. The reason this move works is because you're gaining an important tempo on the d file. Other moves fail. This is the only move. And also, black's idea behind this move is to play c3 next, and then the black queen can come to d3 or to e2, just in the nick of time, only by milliseconds, as we say. And this tempo gaining move is simply fantastic. For example, if white plays something like rook takes e1, now black gets the attack first, c3. And here, if pawn takes c3, black comes in first now, with queen at some point, so we take the rook off on d1, rook takes d1, and then queen to e2. And checkmate is unavoidable with queen c2 and queen a2 checkmate. White is lost in this variation. What else can white play? Well, after c3, if he plays rook to c1, it is checkmate yet again here with queen to d3 check. This is a very beautiful checkmate. King a1. Pause the video here if you can't see the end and try to work it out now yourself. Otherwise, I will continue. Pawn takes b2 check. King takes queen d2 check. Again, if the king goes backwards, queen to a2 is mate. So king takes b3, and now we start the king hunt. Rook to b8 check. If king comes to c4, we have queen d3 and queen d5 checkmate. And if king a4, there's two beautiful ways to checkmate, and they both had the same theme here. Can you see the checkmate here? Again, good time to pause if you can't see the checkmate. Either rook to b4 check, phenomenal move. Point being, a takes b4, queen a2 is mate. Stunning. And if king a5, we have rook to b5 check, queen a5 mate. So rook b4 is a beautiful way to win, and the other way to win is a similar theme, rook to d4, also just as pretty. Pawn takes d4, queen takes d4, king a5, and now the king gets mated like this. Very hard to see, but a beautiful variation. And again, white is the one on the receiving end of the attack. What else can white do here after, for example, c3? Well, bishop g7. If white tries to get his checkmate attack in, black gets there first with c2 check. And if king c1, we queen on d1, and we have the important queen c4 check with mate to follow next move. So that's an incredible idea as well. And if we go back to the original position after this brilliant move, knight to e1, the only winning line, any other moves that are playable? Well, if you try rook to d4, black has the same theme. He wants to get his queen into the light squares now that he's moved his knight away. So you first take on d4, threatening mate on d1, and after e takes d4, c3. And this follows similar lines to what we looked at before. The black queen is coming into d3, and mate is pretty much unavoidable here. So I thought that was a very beautiful variation, this only way to play of going b3, a3, knight to e1. Very stunning idea, and I think it fits in nicely to our series. Hopefully you haven't seen this checkmate idea before. It's something very unique. And I mean, if you're trying to, a couple of tips here. If you get to very double-edged positions where you are attacking your opponent's king on one side of the board and he's attacking your king on the other side of the board, the key thing is tempo and speed. And this shows you that aggressive defense is often the best way. Try to counterattack first. Don't try to defend your own king unless you have to. Always look at attacking, counterattacking. Much more better way to defend. Okay, well, please, again, like and subscribe the videos if you try to get the word out there. If you like these ones in particular, I'll keep these ones going. If you'd like me playing Blitz, let me know in the messages. I'll go with what the masses say, shall I, for now. And get ready for the next video in this series.